For our next clip, we're going back to match week 28 for Liverpool against Manchester City at Anfield, and a huge talking point involving Jeremy Doku.
Hit the like button, people. Make sure you're subscribing. I've been looking forward to this. Because it was a hugely controversial decision, one that had a seismic impact upon the title race, a title race that we all believe is going to be won by 1, maybe 2 points, potentially goal difference. 98th minute. Should it have been a penalty? Should it not? We finally get our answers here. Arsenal fans want to know. City fans want to know. And of course, Liverpool fans want to know. Make sure like buttons are hit before you go any further. Subscribe and let's do this. Obviously, I've got to blur this bit because of the copyright.
Headed for me. Possible final defender.
No, not for me, mate. Ball is...
Straight away, referee, no, not for me. I don't like this. It's just so clear cut. No, not for me. Already making VAR's mind up, and I'll get onto why later. It should be potential foul. Can you guys check it? We have got to change the way that VAR is used. The referee, when you look at his angle, he can't tell whether Doku's got the ball first or not. He has no idea. No, it's not for me. He can't see.
Checking possible penalty,
yeah.
checking possible
I think the ball's
penalty.
in the middle and he just tries to play the ball. There might be some contact. Challenge.
Okay, so that angle's good. Can you just go slowly? I just want to establish if it... So there's clear contact on the ball by Doku.
Interestingly, when he says that, there's clear contact on the ball by Doku. You slow it down. The first contact is from McAllister. He gets his chest to the ball first. So if we're going... This is what I mean. They talk about not wanting to re-referee, but we want the right decision. McAllister gets to the ball first. But then, because Doku has put his boot very high to hit the armpit and chest of the player, which you can see in the next frame, essentially, McAllister can't maintain control of the ball. So they're wrong. It wasn't won by Doku first. They've got super slow-mo, all the cameras in the world, and they got it wrong.
APP.
Okay, so it plays the ball and then it's coming together. Just give...
He says it's a coming together. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to say this. How is it coming together? The boot is above waist height. It's at armpit and chest level of McAllister. That is not a coming together. If both players go in with their heads, yes, one's a high boot. The other, the guy is trying to legally, by the letter of the law, use his chest to control the ball to run onto it and try and score. Come on now. Is this recording even real? Is this recording real, or have they re-recorded this after the game? Because that's a madness to me.
Give me one more that shows McAllister coming in. He turns his body.
Yes, why did he turn his body? Why did he turn his body? McAllister is turning his body to try and protect. Maybe it's me. I don't know. But why is he turning his body? It's purely to protect himself. I could be on a mad one here. I don't know. Let me know in the comments section.
You want to see, sorry?
Yeah, so he plays the ball. The ball's high. They're both coming high.
They both come in high. What precedent have they just set? Now, anybody that comes in to chest the ball when it's bouncing or head the ball is coming in high. How are they both coming in high? Only one player had his boot at chest height. They are not both coming in high. This is absolutely scandalous. This is cheating. This is absolute... I don't even use the word corruption because I don't think Man City have paid anybody here. This is ridiculous. I am almost lost for words.
I don't think there's enough evidence there for a penalty kick.
What do you mean there's not enough evidence for a penalty kick? Of course there isn't when you say Doku won the ball first, when he didn't. When you say that, well, McAllister did turn his body away. And when you say they're both going up high. If they are the three pillars of checking whether it's a penalty, of course you're not going to give it. Because one, you've not got it right. McAllister won it first. Secondly, they're both not high. And thirdly, McAllister only turns his body to protect himself from these 8 or 9 or 10 big studs that are moving towards him. Absolutely comical. Liverpool and Arsenal fans, in the context of this title race, have got to be fuming. It was the wrong decision on field, and VAR, I'm sorry, that sounds like a plant. It sounds like they've re-recorded this a day later. That doesn't even sound real to me.
You happy with that?
Straight to the point. Did you think that was a penalty or not? That is, I mean, I thought it sort of wasn't at the start. I see it again, and I'm thinking it is, and I'm really 50-50 on it.
Yeah, and you're not alone. It split a lot of opinion, hasn't it? And I think it's one of those for sure. If the referee gives it on the field, it would have been a check complete by the VAR. And equally, having not given it, it's also check complete.
How the hell can that happen? How can it have been check complete either way? So the VAR looked at it as zero evidence of a penalty. But if the referee gave it, VAR would look at it and go, zero evidence of a penalty, but we'll let you give it anyway. What is this nonsense? What are we listening to, Premier League fans? This is, am I in the Twilight Zone? What is in this drink? I don't know. How can there be no evidence of a penalty? But if the referee had given it, they would have allowed it to have happened. I've been talking about this for a number of weeks since Howard Webb came in. And this whole, we don't want to re-referee games. Yes, we do. We want the correct decision, not the referee being propped up no matter what he's done, right, wrong, or indifferent. We just want the right decisions. And I reiterate that again. Howard Webb saying, whether we gave it or not, we made the right decision. Oh, my God.
Two players going together. The ball is too low to head.
Yeah, do you know what? So if McAllister had dropped his head to sort of stomach level and then gets caught, I don't think anybody calls that a penalty because you've stooped your head. But he didn't do that. He goes to control it with his chest, which is legal, against a boot that is at chest height, which is against the law of the game, Howard.
Doku lifts his foot to play the ball, and he does make contact on the ball.
But just because he makes contact with the ball, this is where they do themselves. And this is where, I don't know what Michael Owen's going to say to this yet, but this is where they do themselves. They state that just winning the ball in a tackle isn't enough to stop it from being a foul if there's follow through. How many times have we heard Howard Webb and referees and everybody else say, well, just because you win the ball, it doesn't make it not a foul? Cool. So saying that Doku wins the ball but then studs somebody in the chest is completely and utterly irrelevant based on hundreds of other times you've defended decisions where a player wins a ball and then gets the yellow card or gets sent off. Absolute madness. And the fact there's zero challenge towards this, football fans everywhere should be outraged.
And yes, we know there's some contact on McAllister as well. As McAllister comes into him, McAllister's not really playing the ball either. So I understand why it's split opinion. I think it would have been checked.
Again, what's he talking about? And this is where Michael Owen should be stepping in saying, sorry, Howard, I need to ask you some questions here. Firstly, what do you mean McAllister wasn't playing the ball? He gets to the ball first. Then Doku, with his foot in an illegal area, wins the ball off of him. But to win the ball off of him, he has to stud him afterwards. So, of course, McAllister can't play the ball. He's laying on the floor in agony because he's just taken 10 studs to the chest. The level of challenge and scrutiny on this is crazy. First of all, I'd have stopped the interview if I was Michael Owen and said, hang on, what do you mean check complete, whether it was given or not, when your own VAR said there's no evidence of a penalty? Surely if it was given and you didn't think there was evidence of a penalty, you'd say you've got to overturn it because it ain't a bloody penalty. This is corruption. This is cheating. This is absolutely an abomination to our game.
Either way, not wanting to re-referee the game in situations that are not really clear. Which
it is clear. It's as clear as your big bald head. You know what I mean? And I've got nothing against baldies. My dad's bald. My brother's bald. I was bald until I had my hair redistributed. But I'm just saying, it's very, very clear, Mr. Webb. It's very clear, Mr. Webb.
Which is what we think VAR is for in this situation.
No, VAR is for getting the right decisions, whether you re-referee or not. Not for saying, all right, the referee's given this, just try our absolute best to protect him. Nonsense.
The VAR stays out of it. I think that is what we would expect.
You've been in this situation many times before. 98th minute, big game. What's going through your mind at that?
That's the question, Michael. Listen, I love Michael Owen as a footballer. Loved him for England. I love what he did at Man United when he came in scoring against City. I love that he won a title with us, and it really hurt a lot of Liverpool fans. But my God, how after everything that you've heard from VAR and what Howard Webb has said, how is that your first question? There's so many things wrong in that statement. It is unbelievable. And that's your first. This is an absolute put on. This is staged. And the problem is, if you read the comments on Sky Sports' channel, you read the replies on the Twitter account of the Premier League that shared this, everybody's challenging it. But the powers that be are sitting there oblivious. I'm going to say this, I'm going to say it again. Having listened to that, all I'm hearing when I read between the lines is that the PGMOL, the referees and VAR, cheated Liverpool in that game. And when it comes to the title race, they gave City an extra point, so they've cheated Arsenal as well. Both clubs should be writing in. Both clubs should be, I would have lawyers all over this, picking it apart for inconsistencies and sending it back. Because I don't think people are against the mistakes, but own the mistakes. The way they try and lie to us, make us feel like we're stupid and we're not going to pick up on previous things they've said. Wow. I started off this video excited about what we were going to see. I've ended it fuming because, again, Liverpool have been cheated, Arsenal have been cheated, but more importantly, football as a whole has been cheated. What a disgrace. See you later. Bye. I'm done. I'm finished with this stuff.